After roughly 940 million kilometres, the Earth has reached a point on its 12-month celestial march around the Sun where it's going for another F1 game. Fitting perhaps, considering I feel like I've driven roughly 940 million kilometres in this series over the past decade. Jokes aside, it's testament to how incredible the robustness of Codemasters' brand of open wheel motorsport magic that climbing back into the cockpit every year remains a pleasure, and F123 is no exception. Although it's been improved handling in a new era of cars, F123 also has the next chapter of the Breaking Point story mode introduced in F121, plus a new reward-based progression system with daily, weekly and seasonal goals. The result is plenty to keep us busy, even if your personal mileage may vary substantially depending on your taste in both curated solo campaigns and life service style game modes. Last season's sweeping regulation changes ushered in a full field of brand new F1 cars, and with their bigger wheels and tyres, were the best looking cars the sport had seen in some time. However, they're also the heaviest. In F122, that's translating the model that make handling the additional quad stroke. Relearning the limits of these new cars were originally an absolving challenge, but it wasn't always a fun one. There was definitely a fickleness to the way the cars are making a tendency to both understeer coming into corners and oversteer while trying to throttle them out of them. In the game, the drivability is improved dramatically. There's still a sensation of bulk in hefty new era cars, but they do feel considerably more cooperative, grippier and more stable, especially clipping curves. Better still, for those of you without a wheel, they're truly excellent intuitionness. The gamepad controls this year. There was most evident to me while navigating slow corners in narrow street circuits and snapping out of early sides when getting on the throttle a little too hard. I don't know if I ever really being able to catch oversteers so actually on a humble analog to stick in any F1 game ever. F123 is easily the best in the series has ever felt on a controller. The cars feel lively and dangerous, but they respect your commands. It's like working an obedient Doberman for a butcher's shop. Breaking Point 2 is a continuation of the story mode. Codemasters kicked off in 21, and despite the fact that 17 chapters ultimately only lasted a few sessions over a couple of days, it's definitely probably my favourite part. For the purposes of a good yarn, Breaking Point 2 has fictional 11th team called Connor Sports the Grid, much like my team really. The upshot has been that it seems to have resulted in a story with a bit more substance. This time around, emotion and conflict both run a little higher than I would suspect might have been possible within the barrel of an existing team in the real world sponsors. Also, while Breaking Point team may move to a predictable conclusion, I was pleasantly surprised to be caught unaware by at least a couple of unexpected developments. While the original Breaking Point concentrated on the chalk and cheese joint pairing of rookie Aiden Jackson and retiring Dutch journeyman Casper Ackermann at Breaking Point 2 boards lenses, the focus here is really on the whole team, from the drivers to the local team and principal. Also in the frame is David Butler, Devon's father and the CEO, the primary sponsor, plus up and coming F2 driver Cuddy Mayer, who's being managed by Ackermann. As with the original Breaking Point, the events in this scenarios with specific challenges to achieve with Jackson Mayer and even Devon Butler himself. Some events are full races, but most are mid-race situations where you may find yourself asked to finish a specific driver or team, salvage or defend your position after dealing with some bad luck or capitalise on some smart strategy. Overachieving this time around can only bonus objective, and doing so ranks out you within the story mode to unlock new responses to press questions and internal staff queries, but it doesn't change the overall story, just minor side story conversations along the way. That said, I really like the structure and I appreciate the variety and enjoying having goals, making out so many spots, staying finished behind so and so. Maybe I just feel like being bossed around. Perhaps surprisingly, considering his role in 21, Jackson takes a bit of a backseat in Breaking Point 2. This actually may be for the best, as I found him even harder to warm to this time round. Although some of that may be to do with the fact he's probably the least fleshed out character. We learn very little about Jackson in the first Breaking Point. We learn even less here. The spotlight instead has shifted to the ambitious mayor and the Swami Devon Butler. Intriguingly, while his storyline as Breaking Point heel continues, Devon easily emerges from Breaking Point 2 as its most interesting and laying characters. Its cutscenes are a big improvement over the original, and the facial and performance capture in particular is far stronger. The interview sequence makes for some clever script sequences, but I do wonder whether it would have benefited from a more documentary style fly on the wall approach to dramatise scenes. As also the inability to prod the mode with the team you actually choose in the original is a minor miss, but it seems like an easy win for immersion's sake. As it stands, the Breaking Point recap has Jackson and Ackerman wearing Alfa Romeo gear. In the game 2 years ago, they drove for Hash. And the other big new addition is F1 World, which is a standalone mode that appears to be built on the bones of a NAF lifestyle appeal focused F1 life mode from F123. You could probably describe F1 World as a secondary career mode, where instead of taking on a traditional championship season, you complete a range of daily, weekly, and seasonal goals and earn rewards to upgrade your F1 World car. I don't really know what to make of the F1 World, but I do know I keep bouncing off on it. I certainly appreciate the appeal of the mode, more seasons dipping out and in and out for short bursts, rather than F1 action consuming race weekends in normal career mode. But I'm just attracted to the upgrade loop that keeps coming with it. Upgrades from F1 World come in the form of miscellaneous and essential parts and performance boosters like brakes, that will make my tyres last a bit longer, but only on North and South American racetracks, or a bloke called Robert who will make my engine more powerful for 60 seconds off a pit stop. I kind of like that Motorsport Warlock. There's no against in having what's essentially an involving quick play mode, all housed under a single F1 umbrella, but it rewards you for time spent. But there's a mobile game tone here that I'm just not sure I have the constitution for. If you're in the same boat, the traditional career and my team modes remain present. Just know they're essentially the same as last year, only with extra tracks to say on Las Vegas. It's hard to know exactly what kind of race the Vegas street course will make for in real life in November, but it's a cracking looking track, and F1 2014 dubs in a busy 9 on background and brewing vertically just beyond the track boundaries. Extremely eye catching. But yeah, the verdict is far heartier package than F1 22 with 26 tracks. The most enjoyable next chapter of the Breaking Point story that began a few years ago, and for players who love to recline back into the couch and race, and the best gamepad handling in the series ever. The racing focused secondary career mode F1 World is also likely to be a step in direction, and also last year's F1 Life for some reason, although it's equally profitable, and the arcade inspired loop based upgrade system will be divisive amongst the traditionalists. But anyway guys, that's a video. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and thoughts, comments on the daily F1 news and subscribe to the channel. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.